It was supposed to be the trip of a lifetime. I had everything planned down to the last detail. Flights, accommodations, tours. Even the restaurants I'd been dying to try. And then, just like that, it was all gone. I remember getting the email. The tour company was canceling the trip due to unforeseen circumstances. No warning, no real explanation. Just a couple of lines telling me it wasn't happening. I sat there for a moment, completely frozen. I had already invested so much money, time, excitement. Everything I had been looking forward to was suddenly slipping through my fingers. And as I sat there, I started thinking about the money I'd spent. The flight tickets, the hotels, the excursions. It was all non-refundable. I started to panic. How was I supposed to get that money back? I'd been saving for months, cutting back on little luxuries just to make this trip work. And now it felt like it was all going to be for nothing. But then something clicked in my mind. A friend had told me about travel insurance. At the time, I thought it was one of those things you don't really need. A luxury or maybe a scam, who knew? But in that moment, I realized I had bought it. When I booked the trip, I'd added a travel insurance policy for a tiny extra fee. I never thought I'd actually use it though. But here I was in a mess I never could have predicted. So I dug out the policy and started reading through the terms. It took a while. Honestly, it was a little overwhelming. But when I got to the section about trip cancellations, I couldn't believe what I was reading. I was covered. I wasn't just covered for a partial refund. I was eligible for a full refund. That was a game changer. I immediately contacted the insurance company, feeling a mix of skepticism and hope. I wasn't sure if this was going to work, but I had nothing to lose. And then, a couple of weeks later, I got the confirmation. The refund was processed. Every single penny. I couldn't believe it. It felt like a miracle, honestly. And I can't even begin to explain how much that meant to me. It wasn't just the money, it was the relief. I'd been worrying about my finances, feeling like I'd been taken advantage of. But instead, I got back everything I thought I lost. It taught me a really valuable lesson. Travel insurance is something you don't really appreciate until you need it. And let me tell you, when you do need it, you'll be so grateful you had it. It wasn't just a refund, it was peace of mind. It allowed me to reset, replan, and still go on my trip, just a little later than expected. And while I can't control everything that happens when I travel, I know now that having that insurance is like a safety net. And it's a safety net I never plan to go without again. In case you're wondering, the insurance company I used was Auras.insure. I didn't even know about them until I stumbled upon it during my planning. But after this experience, I trust them more than any other company. It wasn't just a formality, it actually saved my trip. So if you're booking a trip anytime soon, trust me, just get the insurance. It's one of those little hacks that can make all the difference when things don't go as planned. I never thought I'd be so grateful for something I almost ignored. But now I can't imagine traveling without it.